You just saw that pruning can delete most of a network's weights. But here's a catch nobody warns you about. If you snip out individual weights scattered all over the place, your model gets smaller on disk, yet runs no faster at all. Ordinary chips still grind through all those zeros. So how do you prune in a way that actually makes the model quicker, not merely lighter? That's the whole point of structured pruning. And the trick is entirely in what you choose to remove. Get that choice right, and you keep the compression while finally cashing in the speed you paid for. Let's dig in. First, let's see the exact problem structured pruning is solving. Unstructured pruning zeroes out individual weights wherever they're least important, and it can reach very high compression. The trouble is what it leaves behind, a sparse, irregular pattern of holes scattered through each layer. General-purpose GPUs and CPUs can't exploit that scattered sparsity, so they still process the zeros. The model is smaller on disk, but no faster to actually run. Here, structured pruning removes weights in hardware-friendly groups instead. Drop a whole channel, and the layer genuinely becomes a smaller, dense matrix that standard math runs faster. The same idea applies to attention heads or feed-forward width. Nothing scattered is left behind, so the math stays regular. The result is real, practical speed-ups on the hardware everyone already uses, which is exactly why it's the preferred approach for deployment. So how does structured pruning actually work under the hood? Follow the construction one piece at a time. Start by scoring whole units rather than individual weights. For a convolutional layer, that means entire channels or filters. For a transformer, whole attention heads or feed-forward neurons. Each group gets an important score, say the combined magnitude or contribution of everything inside it. Then remove the least useful entire units, dropping a whole channel or a redundant attention head in one clean cut. Research showed that many transformer heads are redundant, so pruning them, or narrowing the feed-forward layers, removes real structure without wrecking the model. Here's the payoff. Once a whole channel is gone, the layer isn't riddled with scattered holes. It's simply a smaller, dense layer. Standard matrix math runs it faster on ordinary GPUs and CPUs, with no special sparse kernels required. That's the speed-up unstructured pruning could never deliver. Finally, the trim model gets fine-tuned to recover accuracy. Because cutting whole units is a blunter move than snipping single weights, there's usually more to recover, but a round of retraining brings most of it back, leaving a genuinely smaller and faster network. Strip it down, and 3 ideas define structure pruning. It removes whole channels, heads, or layers, not scattered individual weights. By cutting structure in hardware-friendly groups, the parts you delete leave behind a clean, regular, smaller layer instead of a sea of stranded zeros. It yields real speed-ups on standard hardware, because each pruned layer becomes a genuinely smaller, dense matrix. Ordinary GPUs and CPUs run it faster right away, no specialized sparse kernels needed, which is exactly why deployment teams reach for it. It trades a little more accuracy for that speed. Removing coarse whole units is blunter than dropping single weights. So at the same compression, it typically costs more accuracy than unstructured pruning, and you recover the gap with a round of fine-tuning. In practice, that speed on real hardware is well worth the trade. All right, let's lock in the essentials. This approach removes entire structural units, whole channels, filters, attention heads, or layers, so the smaller model actually runs faster on ordinary hardware. The crucial contrast is unstructured pruning, which zeroes scattered individual weights for high compression but leaves sparsity ordinary chips can accelerate. Removing whole groups turns each layer into a smaller, dense matrix, delivering genuine speed and memory savings on the GPUs and CPUs everyone actually uses. Its trade-off is that coarser cuts cost more accuracy than unstructured pruning, recovered with fine-tuning, and it composes with quantization and distillation for maximum compression. Want the whole model compression toolkit explained without the jargon? We lay it all out over at standarity.com. Come explore with us.